sliding down Highway 61. Sides of the roads all lined with fields, nothing but sunset in the windshield. Feel it as soon as I ride into town. This is where I go to slow down. Miles and miles of soybeans and corn. I'm in the place where the blues was born. About a mile from the big muddy river, place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away from being out in the sun all day. No matter where in the world I go, I'll always find home on the banks of that oxbow.
What's up, guys? Brad Chappell back. Got my partner on the end.
Todd Huckabee.
We're here at the Crappie Expo in Shreveport, Louisiana, 2021. Boy, it's been a good event.
Oh, we've got some really good content for everybody.
Man, it's been exciting. We've had, we've learned so much, even personally, I have on this show. And we've got a couple more guests on, and I think you're going to learn some more even about something that's very important to any angler on the water that I utilize personally. I just about sleep in sunglasses, to be honest with you. I mean, I wear them nonstop, and I know Todd does. If you see any pictures of Todd, he's got sunglasses on his head.
Oh yeah, it's one of those tools that you, as being a guide, which I'm a guide more so than a tournament fisherman, but I have clients all the time that get in my boat, and they bring water and sunscreen and everything else, and I'm like, where's your sunglasses? And they're like, we didn't bring any. And I'm like, man, you're gonna have the worst headache by the end of the day, and a lot of it depends on sun angle and time of the year, but really in the fall is when I notice it the most, because the sun angle's lower and the reflection off the water is a lot worse than summertime when it's overhead. So a lot of people, especially fall and winter, don't think they need them. Or if it's just a little bit of overcast.
If I leave the boat dock and my glasses are in my truck, I am literally taking my boat back to the ramp and getting them out of the truck.
Right. There's probably only one thing that you'd turn back around for.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right. All right, guys, introduce yourself and kind of tell us what you got.
Okay. Thank you guys for letting us be on the show today. My name is Bill Waller. I'm with Hook and Bullet. And what we're doing is, and Todd kind of hit on a little bit, we believe that of all your gear, sunglasses are probably the most underutilized. A lot of people wear them, but not everybody knows how they work and what they can do for you. So while all of our gear is evolving in the fishing world and in the hunting world, your sunglasses are not. So what we're trying to do is evolve the technology of the sunglasses. So one of the things that we talk about a lot is the function over the fashion. So if you look at a pair of sunglasses, a lot of people get caught up in looking at the mirror of the sunglasses, and they'll say, well, that's a blue lens, but it's a blue mirror, or that's a green lens and it's a green mirror. And so the functionality of the lens is what we manipulate and engineer behind that mirror, and that's what gives us an advantage. So at Hook and Bullet, what we do is we take our sunglasses and we divide them into what we call pursuits. It's different categories that we have engineered lenses for, and that those lenses perform better and give you a better sight picture in a specific category. So we have offshore lenses. So if you're pitching baits to marlin 100 miles offshore, well, we've got a lens for you. If you're fishing with a LiveScope on the Red River at the Crappie Invitational, well, we've got a lens for you. So and I'll talk just a little bit, and then I'm going to try to introduce Mark. But we have a lens called Light Pro, and Light Pro is very specific to looking at marine electronics. And what we've done is we've taken electronics, we've given it to our lens partner Zeiss, and we said, hey, we need lenses to allow guys to see their electronics better, but still give them all the protection that they need when they're on the water. And what we've done is we've manipulated things like polarization, VLT, which is visible light transfer, the amount of light that comes in a lens, the filters that are on the lens, and then the color spectrum. It's almost like playing a piano, where you start manipulating that color spectrum so that you get a better sight picture and a better vision of what you're trying to see. So the whole concept is that if you're fishing for marlin 100 miles offshore or throwing a worm to a bass on a bed, well, you need a different pair of sunglasses. And I'll say one more thing. I can go on forever, but I can say one more thing, is that a lot of people will come to me and say, well, should I have a different pair of sunglasses for everything I do? That seems kind of extreme. And I generally ask them, I said, well, how many, in fact, our winner of the tournament, Jeff Larch, his wife asked me that exact question. And I said, well, tell me this, how many rod and reels does Jeff have in the garage right now? Oh, he has 100 of them at least. And I said, well, so how can you argue too much if I can improve your sight picture in freshwater fishing versus saltwater fishing versus live scoping? You may want two pairs of sunglasses. So we have a partnership with Zeiss, and it's an interesting partnership because Zeiss was very open to sitting down with us and allowing us to give them feedback on what we thought would improve the lenses. And Mark is our contact and our rep, and he has the direct line to the research and development department within Zeiss. And so, Mark, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So when we met a few years ago, you had given me a sketch of the logo, and we fast forwarded to today, and I feel so blessed to be here with you because you're the exact type of partners that we look for, where we're trying to conquer and come up with solutions for specific activities. We're not about like other sunglass companies where it's just about mass and efficiencies. Zeiss itself is not a public company. It's a private research endowment company from the German government, and by law we have to put more than any other type of classified company back into R&D, and it's something like 40% of profits.
Wow.
So with that kind of mindset, everything we do is to come up with the next generation, something to better the wearer's sight and improve the visual enhancement of whatever activity that person is doing. So the partnership makes total sense, and we feel extremely lucky to be able to work with somebody, especially in this segment, which we knew nothing about. So for us, this is really exciting. I'm learning more and more every day, and we feel, really, really glad that we're able to, bring this type of new technology to the market.
Like the crappie fishermen, when you kind of touched that a second, what are you trying to develop when it comes to the crappie fishermen as far as sunglasses?
Well, it's an interesting story. So the way we got into the crappie world was I have a cousin, Jeff Hanley, who is big into crappie fishing. He's out of Little Rock area, Alexander, Arkansas. And Jeff calls me one day, and it was an interesting story. He calls and he says, "Man, I got home," and he keeps his boat behind a locked gate at the house, and he said, "I got home and I went to work the combination on my gate, and I couldn't even see the combination. I had to call Adina, his wife, out to come undo the gate." And I said, "Well, why? And of course I'm worried about him, thinking, well, what happened to Jeff?" And he said, "Man, I'm not wearing my sunglasses." And he said, "I'm having a difficult time seeing my LiveScope with or any forward-facing sonar or marine electronic." He said, "I'm having a hard time seeing my LiveScope from different angles with my Polarized sunglasses on." And he was wearing our Polarized sunglasses. And the interesting thing is, not everybody has this problem. It's not a overall problem, but about 90% of the people that we run into have this problem, and they get darker images on their LiveScope. And he said, "I need a pair of sunglasses where I can not fish all day. He goes out and fish 8-10 hours a day, comes back with it. Like Todd was saying, if you don't have your sunglasses on, you're getting all that glare off the water. You're going to have a headache. You're going to have sore eyes. And if you're fishing a tournament, it's that much more critical, because day 2 is going to be hard on you if day 1 wore you down. So Jeff came back to us with that and said, hey, you need to find a pair of sunglasses that I can see my LiveScope just as good as if I don't have any sunglasses on at all. And so immediately, the next day I'm on the phone with Mark saying, hey, Mark, we got a problem and this is what we need. And Mark said, man, we're on it. And so that's the partnership and the type of partnership that we're looking for, is for somebody that would step up when we call and say, we can do better. And not everybody will do that. Not all your partners will do that. But to find one that will is what's, I believe, going to elevate us to the next level and keep our sunglasses on top.
We kind of touched on it briefly earlier as far as how many different pair of sunglasses you need. And anybody out there who's followed me over the last 20 years, I've said this a lot, almost in every seminar, as far as rods, reels, line, bait, sunglasses. It's all just a tool. Okay? I can give you a butter knife and tell you to go around and tighten every screw in this building, and you can probably do it. You can do it with a pocket knife. But how much more efficient are you if you've got a Phillips and a regular flathead screwdriver? The efficiency goes way, way, way up when you have the right tools. And so, as far as sunglasses, to me, I've got, 3 or 4 pair of yours. I've got some other ones that are for little kids and stuff that I now keep in my boat because I realize the importance of that. And as a guide, I want to be able to provide it for people. And to me, it's no different than my tool bag that I keep in my boat. I've got to have duct tape and zip ties and, a couple of different sockets and screwdrivers and stuff, because the more tools I have, the more successful my day is going to be, because as you know, you can have a brand new boat, brand new trolling motor, brand new everything. And sometimes the brand new stuff is where you run into problems, but you're going to have to tighten this, or you notice little things. And that's just like in fishing, the more tools that you have, the more efficient you're going to be at it. So, yeah, I agree. It was like last year up at Table Rock, a lot of those guys that first day, everybody knows that's watching this how brutal it was. I mean, it was pouring down rain, and it was foggy, and it was windy, and it was real low light conditions. And I took off, and I could have lapped people because I had on shooting goggles.
Yep.
Buddy of mine was like, dude, you need to wear shooting goggles if you're going to be running that fast in these conditions. I put them on. Well, everybody else was wearing real dark sunglasses, and they needed to wear sunglasses because of that rain hitting them.
Yep.
But then they couldn't see anything. And so there are a lot of different applications where one size doesn't fit all, even in sunglasses.
Well, Todd, that's interesting that you mentioned that, and we haven't announced a new product. And in fact, I haven't even talked to Mark about it yet, but we had one of our other pros, Ronnie, come up, and he said the exact same thing that you said. And he probably saw you. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't see you wearing your goggles. But we're feeling like that may be another avenue that, these boats are so fast now, and people running 70 miles an hour down the lake. And if a bug hits you in your eye, you're done.
Yeah,
you're done. You're out of the tournament. You may be out of 50% of your eyesight. So, being able to have a goggle that you can run down the lake with like that, I think is imperative.
And like with me, I wear contacts.
Yeah.
So if I've got sunglasses that don't fit correctly and I'm making a long run, by the time I get there, my eyes are watering. I feel like that there's something not right. And by the time you get back at the end of the day, I'm having to take contacts out. And if you look at them, there's a little rip or a tear, and it's from them. These boats that we're running now, and not everybody out here, like Jeff that won it, good grief, he idled from here to the other side of the building. He didn't make a run in 3 days to win. But there are some tournaments where the guy in the 80-mile-an-hour boat has the advantage.
Well, and you alluded to it earlier too. The kind of the mantra that we are preaching is making the most of every opportunity. So all of us that are fishing, on a daily basis, and I certainly don't get to fish as much as you guys do, but we're on the water a lot. But we spend a lot of time, a lot of money getting our gear right, and to make the most of every opportunity.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we're talking about with our sunglasses and how we're trying to differentiate ourselves, is that we want to give you something that when you're out on that water, if you're like I said, if you're fishing on a LiveScope looking at that screen all day, we want you to make the most of that opportunity while you're out there.
Me personally, I applaud y'all for actually looking into the crappie fishing market, because it is a big growing market, but we as crappie fishermen as a whole, we really pay attention to what companies are supporting us. And by you guys being on our show, but not only that, but also being at this expo and promoting different crappie fishermen, these other guys watching and listening pay attention to that kind of thing. So we definitely applaud y'all for being involved in the crappie fishing world of things, because we have a big need in it.
Oh yeah, we've touched on that at this show. It's really awesome what Wally's done here, because he's gotten some vendors here who have never been in a crappie show before. They go to the Bassmasters Classic, they go to these others, but now we're starting to see people are taking notice that this is a big piece of the pie in the panfish world. And so, yeah.
Well, we're dedicated to it, and we want to do everything we can to support the crappie fishing segment as a whole. So it's important to us. It's an important part of our business, and like we talked about earlier, it's an evolution. So we want to continue to make better products. There's a lot of companies out there that are resting on their laurels, and you're wearing the same lens that they developed 25 years ago.
Right.
And what we're talking about is a continuous evolution of our products, and so we're working every day to try to get a better product out to the people that are fishing.
All right, where can the guys find your products? That's what they need to know now.
So we're direct to consumer right now. We have a few boutique level shops, but we're direct to consumer for 99% of our products. It's www.hookandbullet.life, not .com, .life, because it's a lifestyle for us, the hunting and fishing. And I'll also mention, Brad, that we also carry a line of hunting and shooting glasses. It's an impact lens that Zeiss makes, and it's we have a lens that's specific to sporting clay or any kind of clay pigeons to highlight the whites, the yellows, and the oranges of your clay targets. And then we also have a lens that's dedicated to waterfowl and to or any kind of multicolored colored bird like a dove or a quail, pheasant, so that you're picking it out, and it's all about target acquisition. So how do you pick up a target against a sky as quick as you can so that you can get your bead on it and get your shot off? So we have 17 different lenses that we offer to cover our different segments of the market.
And do you offer every style and every lens?
We almost Todd. When you talk about the frames that we offer, for example, this frame is what we call a base 8 frame. It's the curvature. It's a full wrap of the frame. And this one in particular is, it's got a big side arm, a big temple arm, so that when you're wearing it, you got a lot of side protection. So in our base 8, we offer all 17 different lenses. Now in base 6, which is a little bit less curvature to the lens, we offer 13 of our different lenses. And there's a reason why we chose some of those, because we felt like on our shooting lenses, for example, we want that full wrap protection all of the time. We thought that was more important. So, but yeah, for the most part, we do.
So what's one thing that people out there fishing that have sunglasses don't understand about sunglasses? Like, I still have clients that they'll show up and they bought a pair at the gas station where I met them for $11.99.
Well, I can talk to that, and I think Mark could probably talk to that too. But the big key is, for me, is if you're buying an $11 pair of sunglasses, you're certainly getting what you paid for. So the problem is that the sun's radiation, the UVA and UVB rays that are coming into your eyes are what's damaging to your eyes, and that can take an impact on you and wear you down, give you headaches. And if you have a pair of sunglasses that are just dark tint without the right protection involved in it, then what happens is your eyes dilate and you relax your eyes, and you're not stopping all that radiation from coming through the lens itself. So it actually does you more harm than good. You want to talk on that, Mark?
Yeah, and with the $11.99 pair of sunglasses, if the scratch coating or lack of a scratch coating on that lens, if something, let's say, gets through the first coating, it penetrates into the lens and then it's destroyed in no time. What's called delamination. In our lenses, we have by far the best scratch coating in the market, and that's key and important, and it's really unpenetrable, especially with salt water, because once salt water or sweat or chemicals get through, that line of defense, the glasses are destroyed in no time. So that's another important point.
And Todd, I'll tell you one more thing. Our lens is a nylon lens. It's called polyamide. It's a high-end polymer. And the reason I tell you about this is because when they and I don't want to go too far down in the weeds, but when they judge the clarity of a transparent media like glass, there's a scale called the AB scale. And the clearest lens on the market that you can buy is Zeiss's polyamide lens. It scores the highest on the AB scale. And so it's clearer than glass. And if some people offer what's called a polycarbonate lens, and just to tell you that's one of the lowest scoring. So if you're wearing a plastic lens, we joke around and say it's like looking through a water bottle. It is a very inexpensive and cheap lens. And so I think if you said one thing, the clarity of what you're seeing through our lenses is as good as it's going to get.
I know personally, I've been wearing them, I guess, probably close to 2 months now, I would say. And like I said, it's an everyday deal for me. It's not a weekend thing or anything like that. I wear sunglasses every single day, and I have not gotten a scratch on these, and I have in previous pairs before. So I love them, I'll be honest.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, you and I were talking, and when we first got your sunglasses, we were talking because we wanted to compare notes, and the one thing that I noticed was I don't take these off. And him and I got talking about it. Like, I'm not going to mention any brand names or anything else, but there's some other brands out there where I was constantly taking them off. And I couldn't figure out why, but I would, even driving, I was constantly taking them off and putting them on the center console, and then be like, man, it's freaking bright, and I'd put them back on, okay? There was something there that my body was telling me subconsciously that I can't figure out. And I was talking to you about it, about certain brands, and it's like, I like them, but I keep taking them off, and I'm not sure why that is. And so I think that's something that everybody at home needs to look at. If you're wearing sunglasses and you keep taking them off, whether you take them off and let them hang and then put them back on or whatever, something's not right there.
Yeah.
It's not meshing with, obviously y'all know the science behind why that is, but I notice it a lot. Or they're giving you a headache because they're pushing in on you or something. And so, with these, and you sent me 2 different styles, and neither one of them were like that. I could wear them all day without ever taking them off. Kind of like what you was talking about, the other day when we were in here and somebody was like, are you going to wear sunglasses during this podcast? Because I didn't realize that I had them on. Or like that pair that I laid over there that I've had in here since yesterday, I haven't worn them at all. And that's rare.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because for years and years and years and years, everybody was like, what's wrong with Todd? Why does he wear sunglasses inside?
He wears them every day.
Because fluorescent lights always messed with me.
Right.
And, that's case in point. I haven't had those on yesterday, and in fact, I left them laying in here because I don't wear them. So there is something to that of...
But when I get ready to walk out the door, every morning I've got my wallet, my keys, and sunglasses.
Right. That's the same with me.
And if one of the 3 is not in my hands or in my pocket, I'm going back in the house. And that's just straight up. appreciate you guys for coming on today.
Well, we
Look forward to
appreciate
seeing
you.
some more products. Hey, the Crappie folks definitely appreciate your support.
Give us that website one more time.
Website is www.hookandbullet.life.
Got it.
All right.
We appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brad Chappell,
Todd Huckabee.
Bill Waller.
Mark Espinet.
holla.
About a mile from Big Muddy River, a place I'll always remember. Cabin on the lake and a fishing pole. Forever here I'll rest my soul. I can feel my worries drift away.